Very good afternoon to you all, respected Principal Madam, the dignitaries and guests, young and dynamic librarian Mrs. Pratima Sharmaji, and all the participants present here for this national webinar. Myself, Dr. Ajay M. Kamble, and I will try to put up the activities that are carried out, that shall be carried out at the academic libraries in this COVID-19 period and after this period. So, in the beginning, as we all know, COVID-19 pandemic, which is also known as coronavirus pandemic, is an ongoing pandemic. COVID-19 is going on. So, due to COVID-19, the whole world is facing a huge lockdown. From last 2-3 months, we are facing a huge lockdown all over the world. And this period, which has been increased up to 30th June, may get increased. We don't know when this situation will come under control. So we have to wait and watch, take care of ourselves. And until some vaccine is developed by the scientists, they are trying from all over the world. The scientists are trying to make the vaccine, but till today it has not been possible. So we have to wait for that. So we don't know up to how much time the lockdown will go on. Then when we are thinking of our field, our academic field, and COVID-19, so we are facing the same lockdown from last March month, and still we are going in the 5th lockdown, or it's the first unlocked lockdown, and which is going to end on 30th June of this year. So what is the relation, what happens due to COVID-19 in the academic field? Though lockdown has stopped physical gatherings, but the academicians have started virtual activities like webinars, online lectures, FDP, writing papers, quizzes, etc. They have not stopped. The number of webinars have been increased so much in this period. We are finding a number of webinars. When I used to open my mobile in the morning, I do find a number of webinars are there, organized by various colleges, various institutes all over. So now let's come to our field, that is our academic libraries. What academic libraries are doing? Academic libraries are also facing the major lockdown from last 2 months, and there were chances that the users may get contaminated in the libraries. Hence they were closed. The libraries were closed due to this situation. Recently, some state governments have ordered to start the libraries again. So during this lockdown, a question arises in the mind of all the librarians, library professionals all around, that how to provide services. Our user will not be able to come to the library the whole year, the next whole year. Then what will be our plan? How are we going to handle this situation? That are the major issues before all the librarians. So for that, if the situation still remain as it is till the mid or till the end of this year, so in that condition we have to find some sources through which we can connect with our users, our library users. So I'm suggesting few of them. These are the platforms through which you can connect with your users, your library users. You can use social networking sites, then we can use messenger groups. Again, video conferencing tools are there. Then learning management systems are there. We can create AV channels also, and we can contact them through SMS also. SMS is, we can send them messages regarding the activities going on in the library through SMS, or ask them to connect to our messenger groups, or social networking sites, we can send the links through SMS. Then we can add them to the mailing list also. Some examples of these platforms, whatever I have discussed in the last slide. In social networking sites, we may use Facebook or Twitter. We may create one page on Facebook, and through that page we can connect to our users. Through Twitter also it is possible. In messenger groups, we can use WhatsApp. We can create a WhatsApp group of all the classes available in our institute, class-wise groups, WhatsApp groups, and we can connect them through WhatsApp or Telegram. Telegram is doing the same thing. Only WhatsApp has the limitation of 257 members in one group, and Telegram has a limitation of 2 lakh. So number of people, number of groups, number of institute are moving towards Telegram and using Telegram these days, because it can maintain 2 lakh members in a single group. In video conferencing tool, we must be knowing we are using Zoom for this webinar today, and again WebEx is there, GoToWebinar is there. We have some open source platform like Google Meet, then Microsoft Teams. All these platforms are used by the companies, IT companies, multinational companies, to arrange their conferences, webinars before this pandemic. But now all the academicians all over are using these tools to get in contact, to organize webinar, to make meetings, to organize conferences, and so on. In learning management system, some good platforms are there like Moodle, Canvas, Google Classroom, though these are not for libraries. But the library may use this platform to deliver the reading material, the reading sources available in their library to the users if they are not being able to come to the library. In audiovisual channels, we can create YouTube channel, we can create Facebook live channel, and through this we can send them the videos. We can share video lectures, we can share videos regarding the various topics of their study through this audiovisual channels. Then I have already talked about SMS. SMS shall be used to send links of all these platforms, all the platforms we are using. SMS is the best medium through which we can ask them to get connected with us or with our libraries. And mailing list, of course, Google group is there, Yahoo group is there. We can connect them through mail, and if we can send bulk mails at a time through these groups. So if we can connect all the students of our institute and all the teachers to the Google group, then we can send a single mail at a time through these Google groups and Yahoo groups to our users. Anything. If you find that you should inform this to your users, you can inform it through these platforms. So our next point is how libraries can provide services during lockdown. Let us see how. In this period of lockdown, most of the academic librarians are trying their best. Yes, they are trying to provide online services to their users in this period of lockdown. So they are trying to provide online sources. Where are the sources of this online? We can see that there are the number of information sources. I have just mentioned about the consortia here. There are the n number of information sources which can be made available to users. Major part of information sources is covered in some of these consortia. Enlist is the best one for, as it is made for college libraries, institutional libraries. Then eShod Sindhu is there for university libraries. Delnet is there for Indust ICT is there for engineering colleges. For e-resources, AMED is there for medical field. For IAM library, they have their separate consortia. Likewise, these are the list of consortia through which the libraries can provide e-resources to their users. So what we are going to provide through online resources? So we can provide ebooks. If we are purchasing ebooks in our library, so we can provide ebooks through online sources, online resources, or online platform. We can provide e-journal, we can provide e-databases, and we can provide the links to e-newspapers also. Then again, further we can provide on-demand information to our users, as they are not at home. It is not possible for them to come to the library for the piece of information. So if they are demanding any piece of information, they can contact the library through the given platforms, and after their request, the libraries can share the information through the medias available in the library. What we can share on demand: we can share articles from printed form of periodicals, journals, or if some online e-journals are there with your library, you can select articles and you can share that articles also. Then if some new arrivals are there in your library, purchasing is going on, or some new arrivals which you have purchased before the start of lockdown, you can share that new arrivals with your users in this period. Then you can share the specific piece of information they needed in this period. Libraries can provide support services also. Librarians, we all know librarians are dealing with the technological tools while working in their library. They are doing the automation of their libraries, they are handling the various softwares available in their library. So they can very much handle the online sources and resources or softwares easily. Then they can provide technical support to the college in handling their LMS and AV meeting conferences. What LMS is? LMS is a learning management system, and in learning management system, if the college has decided that they are going to install Moodle, or they are going to install Canvas or Google Classroom, and they are going to conduct their classes through LMS, learning management systems, then the library can put the extracts or anything, the reading material regarding to the which can support to the learning media, and they can upload these reading materials on this LMS for the users. Again, if the college is conducting webinars or conducting conferences, meetings, then library can give technical support. The library persons can give strong technical support to all those meetings and conferences. Libraries these days can organize training event, as Pratima madam has organized this webinar. Likewise, many of the librarians we can find they are organizing webinars for their users. Likewise, library can organize training events in their regular work. Also, librarians used to use many of the tools which are available here. I have taken this list from Mr. Jane Hart. He has compiled this list. So these are the top 100 tools for education, and librarians are using most of it. The proportion may vary, but librarians are using most of the tools that are available for education field online. So libraries can organize training session on these support tools for education. How to use this tool, how to manage this tool, and all the training regarding how to handle these tools for providing education through online medias. These days, library may organize online book review competition for their users. They can, if they are having ebooks with them, they can provide ebooks to their user. They can say, you can read these books first, and then if they are having their own books, no issue. So they can organize online book review competition, maybe for faculty and for students both. And also we can organize intercollegiate competitions also for other college students. You have to use some platform for that, and I'll suggest you can use Google Form to organize the book review contest. The libraries can organize online quizzes with certificates. Most of the libraries are doing the same these days. They are organizing various quizzes, not only libraries but all the educational department throughout our country. They have created Google quiz, a quiz on their subject, on a specific subject in Google, and they are giving certificates to those who are passing that quiz. So these are some examples. These are some tools where you can easily create. These are some web tools where you can easily create quizzes. Few to mention are Google Form, Kahoot, then Testmos, Class Tools, Flip Quiz, Traders. You can watch it here. So through these web tools, you can create quizzes for your users and you can distribute e-certificates to them. Again, library, this is the most important activity that shall be done by the library in this period, when if the institute are not started for student for a long time, then libraries can scan the curriculum based extracts. The students may find it difficult to take their notes from the books, as books are not available. So in this period, the library can scan curriculum based extract with the help of teachers from general and reference books that are available in their library, and send it to their students through the available mediums. Then earlier libraries were suggesting printed books for reading to their users, but now they can suggest e-books or e-material, whatever e-materials are there. They can suggest that e-material through the media, that this material we have found useful for you people. You can go through this material and please read it. So book suggestions, books or book reading material can be suggested in this period for the users, which is in electronic form. So they can sit at their home and read them at their gadgets, their computer, their mobile, and so on. Up to this, book suggested, these were the activities that were related directly to users. Now we will discuss on the internal activities that are to be carried, that can be carried out by libraries in their premises, because now it is unlock 1.0 and most of the libraries are getting opened this week in the coming few days. So the first internal activity that I'll suggest is the stock verification. Yeah, libraries can carry out stock verification during this period. Since there are no users, library can do the stock verification, because where there are big libraries, the time during the summer vacation is not enough for them to complete their stock verification. Now this is the golden chance for them. They can complete their stock verification easily during this period. Regarding the internal activities, the second activity would be cleaning and maintenance of stacks. Yes, we all know that libraries were closed for 2 months or more. Hence, all the libraries, especially the big libraries, may conduct cleaning and maintenance of their stacks during this period. Again, they can go for pending works of the previous session, because in the month of March, I think, when it was the March ending month, we have to close. The libraries were got closed due to this pandemic situation. So now it is a chance for the library. Now, since users are not there, they can complete their pending works like data entry of the books that has been purchased in the last year, then clearing previous budget works if any, then book processing of that new books. That work can be carried out in this period. Yes, this is an important part. As we don't know what the situation will be this year, we don't know whether your users may or may not be able to join the forthcoming academic year, and they may attend online classes from their home. So libraries should be ready to plan their budget, whether they are going to purchase printed books more, or they will go for electronic journals, electronic books, e-books, e-journals, and provide them online to their users. So we have to plan for it, where we are going to spend, or we are going to utilize our budget, or library budget, the next year. And we have to organize our activities also according to the situation that will come forward. Searching, learning and developing tools. Yeah, this is an important activity if we can do, because if the situation continues, it is not possible for the users to come to the library. So if it is not possible for the users to come to the library, then it is our duty to go to our user, to reach our user, our end user. So for reaching to our end user, we have to search, or we have to learn, or we have to develop tools, online tools, electronic tools, so that we can disseminate the information available with us to them while they are studying or they are attending the college right from their home. So what after complete unlock, that these were the situations if the period of lockdown increases and the students will not be able to join the institute. But if there is a complete unlock, then what we are going to do in our libraries, we will just discuss about that now. Library activities after unlock. First of all, if users are coming to the library, we have to maintain social distance through. So it is not possible for us to take orientation program face to face. So we may record an orientation program video or make an e-brochure on the new guidelines, yes, the situation is definitely going to change after unlock. When the users are coming, they have to follow some new guidelines, and you have to design new guidelines according to the situation, that they have to maintain social distancing during this period, even after the unlock period. If the institute started, if the library started, we still have to maintain social distancing. So you have to make guidelines for them. So for that, you can make an orientation program and send it to your users through social media like libraries, Facebook, WhatsApp, Telegram group, etc. When the libraries are going to start after the unlock period, when after the lockdown period, and when it will be unlocked, so we have to maintain a daily cleaning of library premises before the start time of the library. It is advised. Then we have to maintain the library book stacks. We have to carry out the maintenance of library book stacks and cupboards. Then we have to clean the electronic equipments like computers, printers, etc. And we have to top up. This one is important, that we have to top up every morning the sanitizer bottles for regular use during the work. So these things you have to take care of in your daily sanitization plan after the libraries will get open. Again, regarding book stacks and cupboard, you have to avoid open access to all users. Try avoid open access to all the users, including your faculty too. Daily cleaning of this premises is possible. It is not possible for big libraries and medium libraries to conduct daily cleaning of their premises, their stacks, but it is advised now, if possible, daily cleaning shall be done. If the books are written, the written books shall be kept aside for 24 hours at least. Don't keep them directly on the stacks. Just keep them in a section, make a separate section for that, and keep that books aside for 24 hours. Next, ask the concerned staff to use safety hand gloves and sanitizers. Yeah, this is also an important point. If the staff is working there, they should use safety hand gloves and sanitizers while working on the stacks. At the circulation desk, where books are being issued for home reading to the users, there should be a safe distance between the issuing staff and users. Because no one can know from where this coronavirus will come and will affect any of the person, even if it is your staff or your user. So we have to take care of both. So there should be a safe distance between them while issuing or returning books. Then ask the issuing staff to use safety gloves while doing circulation. Yeah, this is the important point. Ask them to issue for their safety. They should use gloves while doing that circulation of books. Then I have already talked about that you have to quarantine the written books in a separate room or corner for at least 24 hours when they will come back to the library. And also keep sanitizers at the circulation desks for all. That includes the library staff and your users also. Then library activities after unlock. At reading hall, about reading hall, we have to keep the reading room clean and sanitized. Then we have to maintain, now this is the new concept, that we have to maintain proper distance between two users in the reading area. Earlier they used to sit aside and now due to this situation, due to this social distancing that we have to maintain, so we have to maintain a proper distance between two users in that reading area. We have to keep the chairs, we have to adjust our tables and chairs so that they will not come in contact, and they will come in contact through safe distance to users. Ask your user again to complete all safety measures before entering a reading room. Yes, this is an important point. You should put a notice there and keep a staff there and ask your users to complete all the safety measures before they enter in the reading room. Then don't hesitate in sending back home the users having health issues. If you find that if your staff comes to you and said that someone is having a health issue in the reading room, still he wants to sit in the reading room, don't allow him. Ask him to go home. And again, the last one is quarantine or sanitize books provided for reference. In libraries we used to provide books for reference in the library premises only, the reference books. So if we are providing reference books in the reading room area for reading, when we are taking it back, we have to quarantine that books also, like the circulation section books. Then if you are having internet section at your libraries, then there are few suggestions, right? So reservation system, so that there will be no crowd at a time in your internet section. Then you can maintain the time slots also. If the number of users are more in your library who used to use internet regularly in the internet section, then you can maintain time slots for them. You can keep time slots that for every user that you can sit for 1 hour in the library, one in this internet section, and then you have to vacant it for the next coming candidate or student. Then you have to sanitize the systems before each use if possible. Yes, the system should get sanitized whenever the students are changing their place. Before that, the system should get sanitized. The third point, at most of the colleges in internet section, we have air conditioners. So we, if possible, if it is not a closed area and if you are having windows in that internet section, you can avoid air conditioners. So you have to avoid air conditioners also if possible. To conclude, it is advice from the librarian's desk that whatever prevention or preventive measures we are following in our libraries, I would like to advise you all that please follow social distancing in your libraries, and it is also expected you should start possible library services taking due safety measures. Whatever library services are possible, you may start them, but due safety measures shall be taken before starting those library services. Again, libraries should stress on providing online services the most till the end of this pandemic situation. After that, we can go for our regular services, or we can say still the situation become regular. We have to stress on providing online services the most. Then take care of yourself. Yes, this is the final one, that you take care of yourself, your colleagues, your students, and your surrounding community while you are working in your library. So in the end, I would like to thank the host and organizing team of this webinar, Principal Ma'am and Pratima ji, for inviting me to this webinar. It is my humble request to all to please take care of yourself during this situation. Thank you.